So I hate to be this person, but my brother actually said this to me. Why would you struggle in a relationship? You can do that by yourself.
Woo, that'll do it. You don't have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me.
And you can ask more people for money when you're not in a relationship too.
Every day is a different story about something going on.
Man,
people leaving.
You don't
This
touch.
is different, man.
You don't touch another man's wife, bro.
That's
There's a
real.
curse that comes with that.
No, I know, but everybody don't know that. Everybody wouldn't taught that. There's a lot of things that young men
They don't read.
And there are a lot of men that are in it for exactly what they're in it for. Think about all the things that you want from a wife, and all the things that you don't want from a wife. That side nigga's getting it.
He getting it in something.
So I'm saying, and then she goes home and gives problems to whoever she's with.
Seems like this though. It's like
going on.
I got a partner. I got a partner.
And I just don't want that. I hate that.
He been messing with a side chick for years, right?
There you go.
And I was like, bro, if it's so good, why don't you just go ahead and leave your wife, bro? No. You know, you thinking about child support and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I had to really think about it. When a dude got a side chick that he constantly rolling with, and he got a whole family, they ain't talking about no bills. They ain't talking about no kids. He ain't doing no homework.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So he's thinking he's having a better time with the side piece. They're not doing real life.
They're not. They're having fun.
They're doing moments.
They're having fun.
And he's doing real life with the wife. You see what I'm saying?
And it sucks because when you bring somebody else into that and your home isn't taken care of, then that's still pulling you away from home. When in reality, you should, this is your team. Fix your team. If your point guard can't dribble, make him go dribble a little bit more. But we need the whole team, or it's not gonna work. We got forfeit.
You know me, I go left, right?
Oh.
Your point guard, can't dribble, then you may pull another one off the bench.
Right. But if you pull the other one off the bench, that's probably gonna be my main point guard because this main point guard could dribble. He wasn't trying to pull another one off the bench. He like subbing in and out. I need a starter.
Now this is for all my hardworking men out there. Truck drivers, you do 2,500, 3,500 miles a week. Guys that work in your warehouses. I don't care if you're driving forklifts.
Ooh, the construction
You working
workers.
12, 16 hours a day. All you brothers out there literally busting your ass to go home to a broke woman. Let that load. You working, she's spending your money. Let that load. It's okay to have a woman that got some paper. Think about it. Let's go.
Never a dull moment, man.
I'm just saying, cause see, I used to be that dude. Like, I bust my ass, then I realized she ain't never got no damn money until I give her some.
Well, you spoiled her. That's your fault.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Can't be a fool for them.
Jay Cameron.
And I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm. You know what I'm saying? Can't be a fool for them.
Jay Cameron.
Are you going?
Yo. What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
We back.
Yeah.
How y'all doing? How y'all week?
Good. How y'all week been?
Good. Tell you people something. You know how we do.
My mama's been here all week, y'all. So,
She cook.
does she cook? My mother
Yeah,
is
she
here
cook.
on vacation.
Oh,
Heck no.
I'm trying to get a.
You gotta fix that.
No, but if y'all moms come to visit you, just cherish those moments. We only got one mom.
Oh, what's up, Mike? Still.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Mike? Ken, you got anything to say to your people?
Hey, man, live life like you have no tomorrow. Because tomorrow you might not have life.
Say it again.
No, that's real. I like it.
Live life like you have no tomorrow. Because tomorrow you might not have life.
I'm going to put that on the shirt.
Yeah. And if you try me, I might have to take one.
Take what?
I'm not putting that on the shirt.
What you taking?
That's not going on the shirt.
What is, you know what I'm saying?
You already tried to start.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. That's that Florida stuff. But anyway.
Yeah.
Life is short, y'all. You know, so
Very.
live every day. Enjoy the people that, you know, enjoy you. Call the people that call you. Look out for the people that look out for you. Take care of yourself.
Love the people that love you.
I'm reminded of a person, a young man, whatever, last week, it might have been this week. A young man, I think on Father's Day or right after Father's Day, man in Atlanta, he was on the bridge.
I heard somebody jump.
He jumped.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's so sad. I was gonna almost ask, did he survive? But
so we gotta really, if anybody out there that's in need of some help, going through something that's tragic, going through something that's feel like they don't want to be here anymore, give somebody a call, give somebody a chance, at least to talk you down. Because I'm telling you, we need you. And like I say, me and my partner right here, man, me and Ken, we've been through a lot.
Mm.
And if I can still come on here and look in this camera and talk to somebody, if he can still come here and look in this camera and still take one day at a time, take it one day at a time, you can do it also. But you gotta really dig deep. And that talks about our relationship. You gotta have a relationship with you. If you don't have a relationship with you and you don't like what you look at in the camera or look at it in the mirror, that's a problem. If you scared of the silence, that's a problem. If you scared of the silence and being by yourself, that is a problem. So, but I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. But just know, we here for you. Singleton Brown Live here.
Mm.
Also, too, having a relationship with yourself is how you find happiness within yourself, too. Don't look for happiness in other people or other things. You need to find it within yourself. That way you know exactly what happiness looks like when you do find it.
Yeah, I like it, man.
Mm.
This is good.
Wow.
Wow.
Great.
Wow.
Man, you know, I've had a relationship with myself like all my life. When I was in first grade, kindergarten, high school, all my life, man. Relationship with myself.
That's a good thing, man. I'll ask you a question.
You gotta ask me a question.
Yeah, I'm about to ask you a question.
Oh.
So you say you have you say you had a relationship with yourself, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever felt that you was at war with yourself or had a problem with you?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time.
Was it the little person in you or was it what was the fight?
What Paul say? He wars with himself.
Yeah.
In his flesh. Yeah. You know, I tell people that I said it before. I'm not good at doing bad. Sometimes I'm just bad at doing good. So I'm at war at the times when I'm trying to do good, but bad be feeling so much better. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. That flesh. Yeah. It talks about it all the time.
Like that time I snatched Harvey up.
Wasn't right, but it felt good, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you'd be here if I wouldn't have been there.
Shout out to Harvey. I don't know who he is, but I've heard the story. I've heard the story a couple times.
But no, man, it's like horrible. It's like if you do anything, if you have a relationship to yourself and you have no conviction, no self-conviction when you do things you know you ain't got no business doing, man, the Holy Spirit ain't with you, bro.
Yeah,
you need to check
for sure.
Yeah, you all alone. Yeah,
you see all alone? That ain't good.
Oh, nah.
You cannot maneuver in this world all alone.
Nah.
You can think so.
You ever seen somebody do something and you be like, how could he just, or how could she just do something just crazy, outlandish, or what traumatic, whatever? Spirit ain't with him.
I think the spirit be with him. I think it's just suppressed.
Not that one. No, not that one.
Oh, not that one.
Not that one.
Sometimes people snap too, depending on what the situation or circumstance is. Sometimes people do snap.
What snap?
What snap?
How about say, Kim? Really?
Has anybody watched Straw?
No, I don't watch no Straw.
Okay, so for those that watch Straw, she snapped. There was the end too. Okay, that's a bad example, but snap. Literally, like, there's so much that's happened to this person over and over and over again, and one day they're just like, the spirit ain't with them, and they snap. Yeah.
Okay. So that kind of,
which is hard too. I mean, have that conversation with yourself. You shouldn't let things build on top of each other.
Don't let it build. But that builds right into our topic tonight. We got a guest, a young man. His name is James Garner, and very insightful young man. He's a husband, businessman, also educated man. Got a lot of experiences that can help somebody. And I know him personally. And we want to bring him on, let him say a little bit more about himself. And I'm gonna let him talk about we're gonna introduce the topic, and then we'll let him get on. So we're talking about tonight, how do you show up in your relationships? Emotionally or just physical? How do you show up in your relationship? Emotionally or just physical?
You missed one.
Which one? Another one?
Financially.
Financially? Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to talk more about it. Yeah,
that's physical, though.
Yeah, no, some people just write a check.
They physically have to write a check, though.
That is physical.
Well, they cash app as hell, but you know what I mean.
Okay, so, but still, you got to push the button. Physical.
Yeah.
Okay.
How you doing, James? We got to put our headphones on, I think.
How's it going?
Oh, yeah. There you go. What's up, Jay? Let me get my headphones on.
How's it going?
Headphones on. What's up, young man?
All right, we on point.
What's going on? How's it going with you guys?
Going great.
Going great, brother. You can hear us good?
Yep, loud and clear. How's the weather out there in Atlanta?
Hot.
Rainy.
Word?
Humidity. A lot of rain. A lot of rain.
Yeah,
like we in Southern California, you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, let's go.
So you heard the topic, right?
Right. I heard it. I heard some of what you guys were spewing. I think society has kind of trained us to view most things from a macro perspective. So oftentimes, like snatching folks up or losing it on folks and snapping on people is more of a symptom to a greater problem. One, a lack of tools. I think the tools come when we put the work in and deal with our inner self. Oftentimes, trauma from childhood inform a lot of how we respond to various things. I can recall different thresholds in business where financially I was growing, but psychologically I was like, man, this is scary. What the hell am I scared of? But the reality was I got it out the mud. So, when you get it out the mud, there are some symptoms that are you still got dirt on you. And I think that's true for most of the scenarios that we will deal with in life, whether they be platonic, intimate, financial. All of them are general responses from the work or the lack thereof that we did internally, recognizing who we are now, who we were then, and who we ascribe to be, who we are becoming. I think that's a growth stunner. That will stunt your growth in a lot of areas when you don't realize that it all starts and ends with you. A guy made me so mad one time. I was living in Birmingham, getting ready to take off, and he said, "Just remember, wherever you go, you take you with you." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I thought it was a simple statement. The guy was a recovering addict, and I thought it was just, popcorn. But as the years have gone by, he said something profound, and it actually is one of the things I live by now.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
So we talking about relationships. So we saying how do we show up in relationships, right? But go a little deeper. I can talk to you and Ken. We like this. Relationships can be with multiple things in our lives, not just most things. When we say relationship with your significant other, relationship with a man or woman, but what about the relationship with your health, relationship with your finance, relationships in general? Everything is built on a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that I think that's a good question. That kind of goes back to what we did say earlier, which is ultimately, man, listen, we have to do the work. We got to do the work, and so as it relates to your health, I recently lost my youngest brother, which was that shook my world. That was my first baby. You know what I mean? Like I changed diapers and fed him and everything. And so one of the issues was his relationship with his health and how he saw modern day medicine, which I mean, it to some degree is relevant. I saw an advertisement last night and I cried laughing. They were talking about something. I think it was one of those medications they give for AIDS. They talked about getting irritations around your rectum, your genitals. And so it was irrelevant. You know what I mean? His concern was relevant, but I think balance didn't play a part in it. The reality is, man, the world is a great place and a lot of people are doing great things. Uh, and oftentimes we see them as stars, the Oprah Winfrey's, the Tyler Perry's, the Jay-Z's, the people who do things in marketing, people who serve the communities and, world changers. And we think about those people. And I mean, I'll be the first to admit there are aspects of that I dare hope to touch. But what I also realize is that those heights are probably lonely places to be where you're going to be spending a lot of time with just you.
mm,
And so the question becomes, how much do you like you? How much do you know you?
good.
Like, do you know yourself?
Some
I
people,
think about,
some
I'm
people,
sorry.
some people
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How do
For
you
for
know?
years, I think I was probably mid-40s before I met me. That's
Wow,
crazy.
that's
Whoa.
deep.
Say that again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was in my mid-40s before I met me. The anxiousness and just how people perceive me, the image, what I was portraying, what I was projecting, all of those things were heavily informing what people got, at one point or another. And it wasn't until those mid 40s that I had to sit down and have a conversation with myself, pun intended, Mr. Brown.
Conversation with life. We all gonna have one.
Yeah, you got to.
So when you met you at 40, did y'all
Mhm.
get along?
Mm. No.
Uh, if I'm honest, the person that I met at 40 was terrified, a scared little boy who was absolutely freaking out at how many moving parts were, or how many things were moving around him. You know what I mean? At that point, mid 40s, and things move quickly. Ironically, I tell you something else that's interesting too. We talk about showing up physically. I was so celibate intentionally at that time. So I think that also speaks to uh, the pathway. So maybe there are some areas in it. It may not be celibacy, but I think I just want to add that little caveat. I think also oftentimes it's almost like a fasting situation where we start denying ourselves some things
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
in order for us to grow, in order for us to learn who we are. Because pretty much, you asked me though, what did we get along? I want to get back to that, Mr. Singleton. I can't see him.
You can't.
Where my brother at?
Who?
Mr. Singleton. I can't see him. I see his red pants.
What? I'm right here.
Hey, what's happening, baby? How you doing?
That's not me.
But when it's all said and done, huh?
Oh, you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you. I can see you now.
Okay, I thought
but well now. But when it's all said and done, I think it's I was a mess, man. I was a mess. I had been responding and reacting to so many different things. Many of them, there weren't even things that I was in control of. We're talking about stuff that go all the way back to childhood and the life that was provided for me by parents, the life that was my life as it related to family and friends and school systems and cities and states. I was who the society said I was as a black man. All of those things were, all of that was shooting stuff at me, obligations and weights, so we got along, but the first thing I found myself doing was coddling myself and telling myself it's going to be all right. We're going to make it better. And in the physical, what you saw, it looked like everything was okay. But on the inside, man, I was a mess.
Yeah, sit right there. Stay right there, James. Stay right there. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
There we go.
Hey, your boy Mike Steele say what's up, man.
Oh man, tell Money Mike what's happening.
He listen. We listen to him, and
that's tell Mike I'm waiting on my invitation. You understand me?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he watching you now. So
the Sigma with the 2 gun show.
Mike going to calling in. Watch. I got another question, man. So we talked about how we show up in relationships, the different aspects of relationship. That can mean mentally, physically, in dealing with a man and wife, man and woman, boyfriend, girlfriend, with your health, between you and your maker, with God. So what we really want to get into, what most people want, is between man and woman. Relationship. How are you showing up in relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife? How are you showing up mentally or physically? And how is that impacting our culture?
Yeah, man, it's crazy because unfortunately I don't have those statistics right in front of me, but I have heard it regurgitated on multiple occasions that there are fewer people now marrying than ever before, and that ain't even a racial thing. That's a national thing, and it may be a worldwide thing. Yeah. I think that, in my opinion, there's a few things going on with that. I think first and foremost, I think we are circling back to like the 60s when it was free love.
Yeah.
On some levels where, folks realize that, hey, what I desire internally ain't really long term. Maybe it's just a physical relationship. And so people are acting on it. And unfortunately, the world didn't have, or society really doesn't have a construct to respond to it or to deter people from behaving that way. As a result of that, people do what they want to do with whoever they wanted to. We are in an age where folks, we don't even call people, pronouns. And pronouns, we can play with it, but the reality is it's more about sexual preference. Ain't that something?
Man, they're masking.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I think when it's all said and done, the intimate relationship suffers greatly when we have so many childhood traumas in so many different ways, and there is no attention given to it. It's like I think I'm about to go back into therapy. I have some stuff going on internally that I want to dig into and really bring it into the sunshine and let it dry out and die out. But today we hear a lot about therapy, but I don't know about y'all, but when I was coming along, did y'all hear a lot about therapy?
On TV?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you
Like,
I'm gonna tell you when we heard about therapy. When you're in a relationship and y'all about to break up, and she say, "Let's go,"
right.
Yeah.
and you gonna go if you still want the relationship.
Right.
Other than that,
Right.
nah, that's it. It's just
Yeah.
when your girl about to leave, she can get you to go to counseling.
And you know, to take 2 or 3 more steps down into it, I think another I'll repeat this over and over again. You're gonna find this, but this is something that I'm passionate about. In order for you to be effective in a relationship, in order for you to be healthy in the relationship, solid in the relationship, I think one thing you gotta understand is it starts with you. See, the honest truths about you are just as true about them. I mean, and it's funny because I know men and women who are in intimate relationships, we won't even define it as marriage because some folk married, you know, maybe not title wise, but you know, they've been together forever. The reality is, until you can give your mate the forgiveness that you need, until you can give maybe yourself the forgiveness that you give your mate, until you can give them the benefit of the doubt. The reality is, Kevin Brown and I've been friends since Miles College down in the dirty. We've been knowing each other for a long time when we were just little greasy boys down there at Miles thinking we was doing something.
He know me.
And there's still, right, right. And there are still aspects of Kevin that I don't know. And there are things that as early as a couple of days ago, I just learned. You follow what I'm saying? And so we will give those our platonic relationships that credence. We'll give it that respect, but we won't do that for intimate relationships. Is it just because you are in the house with an individual or because y'all sleeping together, you know everything about them? Hell no. No. But we treat them like that. And so when something arises that we don't recognize, instead of asking the mate, what have you done? Why don't we ask them what happened to you? Because oftentimes what they do is a result of what happened to them. And so intimacy, I hear Gary. There's a guy from church who used to make jokes. We used to make jokes about him. He would say intimacy. Intimacy. That's what you call that. See. And so if you are seeing into a person or if you are committed to a relationship where you will perpetually see into that person, well then why are there so many conditions? Why are there so many non-negotiables? Because ultimately what I want to see if I'm in an intimate relationship with you, platonic or intimate under all titles, my children, my mama, my brother, my wife, my cousins, my homies, my friend girls, whatever, I want to see the inner child. If I'm spending time with you, talking to you, I want to know you for real. But if I have biases and preconceived notions and ideas about what various things mean when I see them, the comfortability, it won't be there. I won't ever see it because people know when you're judging them. They know. And oftentimes, unfortunately, they can't help it. You know, my father wasn't able to read until he was in maybe his 30s. I can recall writing checks for him. My father was a preacher. I remember his trial sermon. I wrote it. He told me what to say, and I wrote it and helped him memorize it. The scriptures. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. We're going to put that on the shelf because I'm going to come back to it. But the thing about it was, that's shameful. I was ashamed of the fact that my father couldn't read. I was. I didn't like that. I heard him and my mom's conversations, arguments or whatever, when they would, confront that situation when various things came on. My father showed up. He was insecure in that area of intellect because he knew he couldn't read. But when I found out why he couldn't, what an honorable man. My grandfather was an alcoholic. And at any point would decide with his good looking self that he was going to go off and take his money, go rent him a room somewhere, drink, and run his girls in and out. And so my grandmother was left at the house with 5 kids. Two, sometimes 3 jobs, trying to take care of 5 kids in his absence and in his presence, because at that point he's unstable. She didn't know what he was going to do. My dad was the oldest boy in the house, so he spent his nights trying to keep the boys in, my uncles, and trying to keep the boys out away from my auntie. And so when grandma got home, daddy had been up all night. So she oftentimes, as a reward, wouldn't make him go to school because she saw how tired her baby was doing the job that his daddy probably should have been doing.
Probably.
Right. But let's go there. Let's go there. But even the pain of his father, my grandfather had pain because his mother left him in South Carolina and moved to New York. And so he was hurting based on that relationship with his mom. And his mom went to New York to make a better life for herself. I'm not sure what happened. But do you see the connection between all of this? Who's to blame? If you're a Christian, this is a great case for salvation. The reality is, man, we all need it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So when you start dealing with relationships, intimate relationships, I'm gonna marry him, I'm gonna marry her. What are you really saying? Do you know?
You saying you want
because when it's
you want the problems too?
Say it again.
From top to bottom.
Yeah.
Childhood trauma.
Right. So when my wife and I were talking about marriage, I talked to her about this second time because I've been married before. We talked about capacity. Because I was like, it's certain things I know I ain't got capacity for. And it's not a judgment of somebody else, but I got too much of that in me. You know what I'm saying? We can't double back this thing. We can't double macaroni and cheese this. We gotta, somebody, it gotta be up. You know what I mean?
Balance out. No, go ahead. Say it got to balance out.
Yeah, it's got to balance out. And so we also talked about, other various things that was important for us in the conversation. This is 2 people who just met and just talking in general. Ultimately, we married, but when it's all said and done, we had a good idea about what we were getting into. And my only obligation was, if we're going to do this, then let's close the back door and pay close attention to what I tell you, because I'm telling you who I am and what I've been through. Anything's possible. So if we're talking about intimate relationships and we're talking about the one between a man and a woman, then the ultimate goal, ideally, you would imagine, would be marriage. Yes. Well, if you look at the vows, what is left over if till death do us, what is it? In sickness and in health, for rich or for poor, till death do us part. That, like, if you look at the vows and you try to leave something out in a person out, because most people break up because of money and infidelity. But the reality is that's covered in richer for poor. It's and the beauty of that is, ironically, the tools that's necessary to stay in a marriage like that, or in a relationship where, you're dealing with the other person's idiosyncrasies, they will make you stronger. They'll help you be a better person, and it'll actually help you minister to some things that are going on to yourself, that you'll be able to do some healing. I feel like I'm rambling again. Let me fall back, but I hope I answered your question.
If y'all on here, we on here with a guest, Mr. James Garner. We talking about how do you show up in your relationships, physically, emotionally, and we talking about the depths of man and woman coming together and seeing how we can make this work. getting some good insight from James and Ken and Bash and myself. But put a comment down in the chat. Tell us where you're from. Ask a question to any one of us. Very verse, a lot of experience on this panel. But this we having a good conversation about how do you show up. And James went in deep and talking about we got to get to know you, being a child, the little boy or girl that's showing up and self-sabotaging some of these relationships. So continue on, James.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Singleton.
No, when you said that you and your second wife was speaking hypothetically, right?
Mm.
I got a story. me and my one particular wives, we were speaking hypothetically on the couch on a Saturday afternoon, and I go, "What if we messed around and got married?" She go, "Yeah." I go, "What you mean?" She go, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, what?" She said, "Yeah, I'll marry you." I was like, "Oh, okay." The next weekend, she was looking for a dress. It wasn't really an official proposal. She's looking for a dress the next weekend. And I guess I was weak. I don't know. I guess I go find a ring.
That was a red flag. Yep. Yep. Was a red flag. Nope. It's a red flag.
Right, we made it. We made it 15 years, but yeah. It was a hypothetical conversation. All I said, what if we messed around and got married? She was like, yeah. And that was it. You got to be careful of them hypothetical conversations.
She waiting on you. Yeah. Like, hold on.
Yeah. So no more hypotheticals. Listen, we go talk about marriage, but this ain't about getting married.
Yeah, you better not say that today. It's serious today. You'll be showing up at the altar today faster than you can think. Jesus Christ, that's some different stuff right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't sign no more contracts, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I'll do a covenant before I do a marriage. Put it like that.
Yeah, and you know the thing about it is the good and the bad of what we see in our society today, where people really not really avoiding titles. Is the reality is a commitment.
Yeah.
Are you willing
Why do you
to
feel
be
like,
committed to somebody?
why do you feel like people are afraid of commitment? Why do you feel like people steer clear of that? Why do you feel like it's different than what it used to be?
I think folks are afraid. In short, a short answer would be people are afraid of being hurt, afraid of being disappointed. And so as a result of that, they figure if I play this way, and then for a lot of women, I've heard women say this, they became what happened to them. So, these dudes playing with them and doing whatever, and they weren't, they felt as though they weren't savvy. And so as a result of that, they started maybe playing the same game. Sometimes I've heard people say, I watched my mama get played. And so now I'm playing gonna happen to me because I'm gonna be the monster. So yeah, I think people just afraid of being hurt. You gonna say something, Mr. Brown?
Oh no, somebody got a comment.
Oh, they said that.
Oh,
They said it wasn't a red flag. So real quick for the person that commented, I feel like it was a red flag because, to me, she seemed too eager. Like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's go ahead. Like, you don't want him to like.
I'm like that dude though. It's like.
So I just if I was really, I don't know. I was really in love with somebody, like, and they were just like, well, what if we messed around and got married? And I'm like, I would ask, are you serious? Are you this? Or I don't know. I would just have more questions. And forgive me, but we do live in a social media day. I would be like, can we do this in front of people? Like, can we go somewhere and do this? Can we go? It doesn't have to be in front of a crowd, but like, can we not just be sitting on the couch talking about, hey, what if we messed around and got married? Like,
it was 97. There was no social media.
Okay.
Hell, we just got cell phones probably.
Yeah.
But I did make it official when her grandmother came to town for Thanksgiving.
In front of the family. Okay. Okay. So we were missing that part of the story.
I made it official. But wow.
How long were you guys dating before y'all had that hypothetical conversation?
That was the one that I knew for like a year and a half, but we always hung out in a group.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So I never dated her because every time I seen her, it was me and her and other people. But I never actually dated her. Then I got into the relationship and realized, like, damn,
no one wants to be hurt or waste time. Yeah. So that's true. The whole like being hurt and wasting time thing is, do y'all not know the time is gonna pass? Like it's okay to put your heart out there and try for the time that's gonna pass and try to love somebody if you will. Um Personally, I've been heartbroken twice before, and I don't think that'll stop me from loving anyone differently. You just have to go into a different situation with hopefully a mindset that you've worked on, that relationship that with yourself, and you have to go into it with a clear mind, healed, and wholeheartedly. But I don't feel like society should let people taint them. Don't let people taint your heart. If you've been heartbroken, it's just not the one. Imagine you marrying somebody that's gonna heartbreak you. Like, no, that's a good thing that you got your heart broken and you got to move on. Yay.
How do you deal with the reality of if you are in a relationship with somebody 9 times out of 10, you gonna hurt them?
So everybody is going to hurt you. You have to find the ones worth fighting for.
Yeah, yeah. I just think that running from pain as it relates to relationships or connected relationships is a rough thing. And I'm guilty of avoiding. I've seen myself in positions where I knew I could hurt somebody because they exposed themselves faster than they should have. And as a result, I carry that burden of Jesus Christ. I don't want to hurt this individual. Um, and it was a rough go for me, that period where I had to kind of bear that cross. In hindsight, I probably won't carry those kinds of crosses no more. Like if I mean, it's like you could have pulled the Band-Aid off early on, and the sun would have healed the flesh wound, and it wound up being something
Gotta
that
pull that
was
Band-Aid off. I ain't strung this body
infested,
along. It's not
infested.
that.
And I regret that I didn't do it right out front, but I really was trying not to hurt her. But why? Why? Why?
Why were you
Why?
are you asking yourself
Yeah.
why were you trying not to hurt her?
Right, right. Well, it wasn't necessarily a her, but when you look at people, I think one of the things that we have to take into consideration is flashback. When I was a kid, maybe those earlier elementary years, a lot of times I got bullied, not because I didn't know how to fight. My daddy boxed in the military, not because, I didn't have the courage to fight back. The primary reason for me, I didn't like hurting people.
Yeah.
That's the same guy that person met who wouldn't just snatch the Band-Aid off. You see how the connections are there? Like, that's crazy. But I remember feeling that way, like cats pushing me around and ultimately having to smash them, and didn't and felt bad about smashing them. I can recall one particular fight I got in as a kid. I could feel the kid's lips on my fist, like and how that felt, and it wasn't a good feeling. So I think if we come back around to how we're showing up in relationships and why and what our relationship is with our inner selves, I think we find that if you really look, there is some major connection with the person. Somebody said was the person younger than me.
Yeah.
I think they're talking to Ken.
I don't know who they're talking to. One of y'all.
But wait, so Miss Black Ink Microblading Tech, we need you to be specific. I think that question's for Ken.
Oh, here we go.
That's why she felt they were more vulnerable.
Oh, James.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
James.
Hey, people this way.
James.
I thought it was for you.
I guess you were telling your story, James. You want to know about the person when they exposed themselves to you early or whatever, and then you got turned off and was ready to, I'm good. So
I didn't get turned off. I just wasn't interested from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wasn't. Yeah. So it's if you can imagine somebody coming up to you like, "Look, you the one, you my person," this, that, and the other, and I'm like, "Nah, no, I ain't." But blue shirt.
Oh yeah, she's talking about you. She wants to know if it was someone younger than you.
You getting it all?
Oh. No, this purple and gold, baby, Miles College. But
it looks a little blue on the screen.
It's purple.
Oh, okay, I got you. But yeah, and maybe that's why you feel they were more vulnerable. No, they weren't younger. Actually, the person I'm thinking about was older than me.
Oh.
Yeah. So like I said, I regret it not just going ahead and snatching it off. But unfortunately, yeah, I won't ever do that again. That was horrible, and I felt bad about it.
Was it too much information, or what was it? When you say that,
I didn't want that from them. That individual, I didn't want, and I told them that's not really what I was looking for from you.
I don't like they needed that comfort and that vulnerability space that you provided or created for them to let you have.
There was something you did or said.
And that being said, speaks to another issue. See what happens in relationships with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, what we call falling in love, being in love, is misdefined based on needs. Have you ever did that with somebody or had somebody do that to you? So they haven't done that. Yeah. Huh?
Fall in love with stability? Yes. I've been asked to be married twice, and one of them was a weirdo. The second one, you fell in love with stability, and no, sir.
Yeah. And so, the thing about it is emotional stability is greater than money. Folks don't know it, but it really is. When you are at peace with you and when you are doing the work with who you are, folk, no, say it, sister. What were you gonna say?
People recognize that, though. People recognize a healed individual, and they because those healed people walk around in light. And I guess it's really not. It's something that's in you. It's something that people can recognize. And as those people, we can also recognize when you're not healed. And I don't want that from you, baby. Like, you think you're in love with me, but this is a version of me that I had to work on. This is a version of me that it took a long time to get to. And I will not let you taint that.
Yeah. And so the thing about it is, when it's all said and done, that's why I say there has to be some kind of fasting before you get into these intimate relationships, because you got to do the work. Because listen, discernment, we spookalize discernment in the Christian church, but the reality is sometimes discernment is just reading the room, man. Sometimes the room is telling you what's going on, and you missing the cue. When I was single and looking around, I can't tell you how many times I looked and was like, this sister is not for it. She don't want nothing from me but a hello, and she might not even want the hello. I saw it plain as day and kept right on pushing. Yeah. And I have met people that I have had great platonic relationships with who were females, and there's never been 1 ounce of romance in the relationship. And I understood that coming out the gate. They were, and the ones I'm thinking about were very attractive women.
People that can't fathom either. People that are unhealed can't fathom that.
Yeah. And so
and have platonic relationships, and it's okay.
And so And so how do we handle that? How do you deal with that when you're doing your work and folks like to come into your clean room, which is your inner you, and chill out, and you like, look, you can come and visit for 30 minutes or a couple of hours, but you got to go home. Don't move in.
I don't
think you're gonna tolerate when you're at a certain peace with yourself. It gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Certain things you ain't gonna. You're gonna see it at the door, and they gonna sense like, you know what? I knocked on the wrong door.
Yeah, they're not gonna put up.
No, and I guess that's why I'm at in my life. And I just look at you in a certain way, and okay, just don't do that.
A lot of those people that feel like you're their person, or they look at you and you're like, you're my person. They're not realizing unhealed. They're not realizing that, okay, yes, you're in the safe space that I created, but you don't realize that you have never done that for me. What about my person? What about my safe space? My safe space takes away from me. That's not good.
And so
space for everyone.
And so as I'm processing through this question, because actually I'm gonna be honest with you, the question of what do I do with trying not to hurt people, that's the first time I had never asked myself that. So as I'm listening to what you're saying, I'm processing through it. I think first thing, one, I don't think we need to demonize them or you know, let them keep that dignity. You don't want to, smash them, but I think it's a moment to see, if you process it right. It's a moment to see how you can be of some assistance, and maybe the brutal honesty is necessary as a part of sobering them up, so that they aren't being victimized in one way or another by other people. Because some folks will take full advantage of that. The one point I wanted to make, though, if we could fall back with my father, this is I wanted to talk about the reciprocation of dealing with in relationship, platonic, intimate, the fruit that you get from it, what grows out of those things. Now, as a result of my daddy not being able to read, me helping him with his sermons and so forth, and reading for him. One, I read well. Two, I have an insight with the Bible that Kevin can testify to. I really have been blessed. I taught at Miles. I used to teach Bible study at Miles when we were students there. At a very young, I was teaching Bible study and doing everything else. When I left
Another preacher's kid. Yes.
Right. Wide open. Like, Singleton.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, as a result of his weakness, I gained the strength. And so I think if you look at relationships, intimate, platonic, if you really examine those relationships, I think you'll find where you were strengthened by some of the things that they may have been weak in as a result of you having to do. Even as going back, I mean, I'm talking about my dad. But if you look at some parents and the relationship you had with your parent in some areas where they were weak, and you gain strength as a result of it, or a tool that was useful within it as a result of their weakness. I say all the time, oftentimes we don't give credence to other people's idiosyncrasies. Sometimes allow us to be able to do some of the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
The man that don't have no skills in his house, you know what I mean? Can't fix, can't fix the stove, can't fix the fridge, can't fix the door, the handle, whatever. I make money off of that. So you know what I'm saying? Thank God he can't do it.
I don't mean to interject, but I feel like that's also what's wrong with the 25 and under crowd. You just said a lot of the things that we know how to do was a result of our parents not knowing how to do it, or people that we know not knowing how to do it. When you're very well put together and you don't make your kid have to learn how to do anything. You send them to school, they come home. You send them to school, they come home. Maybe they go to practice, but they're not learning any skill or trade. Or I'm not saying you have to struggle in order for your kids to be good people, but I feel like a little bit of knowing what a struggle looks like is good for kids to oh my goodness, for them to learn a new
Be
skill.
uncomfortable.
They're way too comfortable as children now.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something that's deep about that. 90% of the time, I'm guilty of it. Why do you think people would overgive to their kids and make them overly comfortable? Why would they do that?
Because you were uncomfortable as a kid.
Booyah. So processing
but
the information
you are as good as you are because you watched your
parents.
Yeah,
right. You got to work through it, because see, that's why I say sometimes we are trying to avoid pain or impose pain on others, when every now and then, a little Band-Aid snatch off needs to be. Come on. Your kids, if a healthy mind would let you know, hey, look, they need to have some sense of desire. They need to be hungry. They need to know what it is, the reward of working for something that they desperately want, and working to get it, and having the pride of having it. And then how you maintain it and how you keep those are valuable lessons that a parent can teach with means. But you got to do the work on the inside if you coming from nothing.
I got a question.
My kids are huh?
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, finish your thought.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, my children, that's something that I think about. And I learned that these are individuals that all of them are different. And so I deal with them differently. And it's hard because you love them. They're my babies. Yeah. But when it's all said and done, I want them to develop. And One needs development here, one needs development over there, another one needs development here, another. And as a parent, we have a responsibility to make sure that they get whatever it is they are supposed to get. Kevin is a parent that I admire. My brother Preston, he's a parent that I admire. My cousin Bo, they are parents. My brother Jonathan, I love the way these men parent their children. And it's not that I don't think I parent well, but these people, I watch them, and they don't know it, but quietly I sit back and I think, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
I got another question. This is going to take us on out of here. This is good for all of us.
Oh, goodness.
So we talking about showing up in a relationship, right? So how do we know which little boy or little girl or grown person is showing up in a relationship? How do we know who's showing up? The little boy or the grown man? The little girl or the grown woman? How do we know who's showing up in a relationship and who's sabotaging the connection?
I think the sober mind, the sober person that has done the work, you can see it, man. And my therapist said something to me years ago, and I still remember it. There are no absolutes. So one individual can show up as the little boy over here and the grown man over there and the little girl right here and so forth and so on. So I think the calm in you, because the reality is, can you be perfect? No. Are you going to catch everything? No, you can't. But I think if you are at a place of peace and balanced, you're slow to speak and quick to listen. I like to say, think fast, speak slow. Then I think oftentimes if you give some thought to what people say, I've been accused of that, really listening to people. That's what got me in trouble with that person, listening too good, truthfully. You remember what I said? Yeah, you said it. You know what I mean? But I think if you listen closely and, historically, my wife and I have this saying that we say, trace the source. I hear what you're saying. I hear the language that you use. And why did you use that word, though? You know what I mean? If we really examine what's being said, the communications that we're experiencing from an individual, it'll tell you every time. I never will forget, I was doing a job for a guy. This has been probably 5 or 6 years ago. And he was a little fella. He was real short. And he had a very beautiful wife and daughter in the house with him. And we came in to do some work. We had it was some breakdown in communication about what he wanted, right? So the conversation got a little intense. And I mean, I'm 6'1", 250 pounds, 230 pounds, something like that. And he is like barely 5. And so we having this intense conversation, and I was watching him. He was amping up. So I found a bucket that probably was 2 feet tall and sat down on the bucket so that he was taller. And guess what he did? Calm down, and we got to a resolve that was beneficial for both of us. So I think you just got to really pay attention sometimes who you're talking to and realize that relationships are important. As we close, I think we're closing. Every relationship is important. All of them. If you are in it, it's important. If you are in it, you can take something from it. If we don't, as say that again, sweetie.
In it, work on it.
Yeah, work on it, whatever it is. And sometimes they aren't all inner circle relationships that we work on. But I remember Helen Fairbanks in 9th or 10th grade who told me, hey, you really wasting your intelligence because you don't do nothing in my class. But I see something in you, so I want you to go do this. And it wound up being something that I was good at. Sometimes we need to invest and understand that the return on investment ain't always coming from the individual that you invested it in. I know I have made wives out of women, but I didn't marry them. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's important.
Wow.
Any closing remarks to your viewers, James?
Yeah, relationships are important. And if you look at, I think 85, 90% of the struggle that you are having in your life, personal, professional, financial, it's got everything to do with these relationships that we aren't feeding and doing the work on.
I like it.
This was really good insight.
Any other questions you got for him?
No, and our producer's making us wrap up.
Any questions, Ken?
I don't have a question, but I have a statement. My topic was like, how do you show up in a relationship, right?
Yes, sir.
Show up as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Not that representative.
Yeah. Originally, show up as yourself in the beginning.
Yes.
And when you show up as yourself, show up as whole as possible. We ain't perfect, but show up as whole as possible. Show up as yourself and just be honest. Just be honest. I mean, because these days, like in relationship, what are we looking for? Commitment, loyalty, respect, peace of mind. That's it. But just show up as yourself and just be honest. Male or female.
Because when you don't show up as yourself, when you do have that representative, we're taking so much longer to get to the actual, to get to where we're going.
Yeah.
I like that.
Even if we're not going anywhere, it took too long to figure out we weren't going anywhere.
Right.
Just sitting in the vehicle.
Was that just catch and release?
Just sitting in the vehicle looking at each other. There you go.
Catch and release.
Don't start.
What?
You say what?
So
is that so? I'm gonna. I look.
They've been waiting on this. Go ahead.
Catch and release is less funny, or it's more serious, I guess I should say, if you're taking that stance on it. Like if it's the representative, and you find out it's the representative, go ahead and catch and release.
Oh, somebody gonna read that badge? Want to answer that?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, when I said
husbands, I don't want to marry them.
And I mean, here's the thing. The point of it is this. Oftentimes, what we invest, my statement about I've made women wives, these weren't women that I dated. These were just sisters that I had relationships with. It was never about an intimate relationship. It was always, I think of one individual, little sister, bless her heart. She's an RN now. I met her, I asked her, why you ain't in college? She was young and pretty and fine. And she looked at me and I looked at her and I felt that and she felt that. And I'm like, I ain't old enough to be your daddy, but I'm only a few years off, right? And so what wound up happening was an investment. That sister had was offered a scholarship to Tuskegee 2 or 3 years earlier and didn't go because she was scared. Was dealing with, some of the things that happen when you ain't on point, when you idle. And ultimately what I did was coached her and she went to Tuskegee and graduated.
Yeah.
And now she's got two kids and her husband or fiance, I think they done got married. She met him at Tuskegee. That's what I mean when I say I made wives. I'm not talking about sisters. It could have went left. The lower man could have showed up, but I made a choice in these instances. Like, nah, that ain't what this need to be. So that's your answer, Miss Black.
Miss Black. Wow. I don't know who Miss Black is. Man, appreciate it, James. Hey, bro. You just one call away from me. I get to hear this kind of stuff all the time,
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks for the invitation. Guys, be aware that I'm gonna start posting some stuff and sharing a little bit more on a regular basis on some real topics. I am James Garner, the relationship guru.
Look forward to hearing from you. Yeah, this is gonna be.
Yeah.
You've been on here twice, so we just keep bringing you back.
Okay. Anytime y'all want me to come, just let me know.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Be blessed. And Mr. Singleton, it's always a pleasure, brother.
Always good talking to you. I always learn when I talk to you, so I'm listening.
Now that's saying something. You understand me? Now that's the compliment right there.
You had some good stuff. You were really good to listen to. Seriously.
Praise God. Praise God. Praise God.
Coming to Vegas.
Yeah, come on.
Yes.
Come on. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do for you. Come on to Vegas.
Okay.
I'm gonna meet you at the airport. I'm gonna help you get situated with your places to live. I'm gonna show you what you want to do. I'm gonna give you the speech that I give everybody. In the daytime, you want to stay inside the casinos because it's 100,000 degrees outside.
Yeah.
At nighttime, that's when you go outside and walk around, and then I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Okay.
I hate the strip, bro. I hate it with a passion. I hate to drive.
Of course, you should hate it.
I'll see you next month.
Figure that out. Yeah.
What'd you say, Singleton?
Next month.
Oh man, if you don't reach out to me,
I will.
Nope. Yeah, for real. Get my information from KB and definitely, because I might need an extra hand on a job or something.
Yeah. But Beyonce's in town on the 25th and 26th.
Oh, okay. Well, show up.
Miss Black, speaking of.
Thank you, Mrs. Black.
Miss Black, who do you know on this panel? I want to know. I'm being nosy. Who do you know on this panel, Miss Black?
Oh, wait. I wanna guess.
No, it ain't me.
No? Can't be looking around too. It probably is. No. It probably is him.
A code name.
He always hit the.
Miss Black. I know. Miss Black. Another young lady. I don't know the other young lady either.
Okay.
I like it. Here we go. What she say?
Instill hard work and values in them. Yes. Instill hard work and values in your children, and make your 12 and up year olds, make them order their own food. Stop ordering for these kids. They grown.
Kenny. She says she know Kenny.
Okay, Kenny.
Hey.
Kenny.
Wait.
Boy, that's back home, huh?
Wait. I'm gonna say this. Let me say this. Single mama.
Oh, hold on.
I think. I don't know if this is our part. Yeah,
wait,
we shouldn't be here.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
She said Kenny.
That's back home, huh?
Yeah.
Sugar mama. Sugar mama.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Okay. Thank you, James, again. And she said Singleton.
Yes. Okay. Wow. I know that is.
Okay. Miss Thunder.
You too. Thank you, Miss Thunder.
Miss Thunder 9702. Who do you know on this panel? I just want them being nosy. Kenny again?
Put everybody on the spot, bro.
But yeah.
I get this from you.
She gonna say Kenny too.
Kenny.
Hey, y'all not call me Kenny, okay? Hey. That's for close family members. We family.
Man.
But nah, that's.
Oh, Ken?
Almost.
In the show.
Wow.
How you doing?
Oh, wow. Oh, now you know, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Miss Black.
He said almost.
Almost. This is good. Okay. Let me do my part. Thank you, James. My producer over there looking at us. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, like always, bro. Till the next time. The love, the expert, the relationship guru. Okay. We'll be tuning in. Big eyes. That's your people.
Is that Kia?
Oh, Lord.
No, that's no. Kevin. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah. Big eyes.
Hey, I'm getting off here for somebody to say they know me. It's been nice. Hey, y'all take it. It's all good. Let me know. Kevin, hit me up. Singleton, when you come, for sure, man, hit me up. I'll be glad to see you.
Definitely.
All right, bro.
And Cash. Nice to meet you.
Oh, Bash. What it be? My bad.
Hey, the same thing. Go ahead.
No, I'm just kidding.
Bye.
All right. That was good. Okay, like always, like, subscribe, follow. Singleton Brown live on all the platforms. Also, we're on Roku TV. Download the app, Gift TV, and check us out. We coming to a stage, a function. I bought some boots. Can you buy you some boots? Put some boots on the ground. Pool party. But we got a lot of good things coming.
Cowboy boots or just boots?
Cowboy boots. Square to them.
Damn.
Yeah, we gotta get some boots.
Damn Beyonce.
No. Okay. Any closing remarks? I'll produce the same. Wrap it up.
No, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Okay.
I have a closing remark. Hey, parents, when it comes to raising your kids, you have to understand, are you raising a sheep or a wolf?
Oh my.
I subscribe to raising wolves.
They know how to.
They eat sheep.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Okay? I'm leave it at that. Leave it at that.
Eat or be eaten.
Exactly.
Appreciate y'all.
Who are we?
We Singleton.
And I'm Brown.
We
I'm
what?
Bash.
And we was live, y'all.
No, we're not.
Till the next time. Peace.
You know what I'm saying? Can't real fool for them.
Jay Cameron.